Friends, Shabbat Shalom. We're going to give everybody a minute or two more to come into the sanctuary. Well, we're expecting probably 40, 50 more people, so give them that minute. So I want to welcome everybody. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you so much for being with us this evening. Tonight, in addition to our Shabbat worship, we'll also be honoring International Holocaust Remembrance Day. Now, many of you probably didn't know today was International Holocaust Memorial Day, Remembrance Day. It actually falls on Tuesday the 27th, and while the 27th is a date for international remembrance, we know that Israel observes a separate commemorative day, Yom HaShoah, in April, on April 14th. And the reason that January 27th is the International Holocaust Remembrance is that it marks the anniversary of the liberation of Auschwitz-Birkenau, the largest Nazi concentration and extermination camp, in 1945. And in honor of International Remembrance Day, we'll be singing Eli Eli at the end of our service. So I want to welcome everybody with a welcoming song. If we could turn to page 10 in our Siddur. We're going to sing Hine Ma Tov, translated, how good and pleasant it is that we are here together. Let's sing together. Hine Ma Tov, page 10.
Hine Ma Tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Ma Tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Ma Tov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Ma Tov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Ma Tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad.
And in keeping with the sentiment of how pleasant it is to be with one another, please turn to a neighbor and wish he or she a Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. And now please turn to your other neighbor. That's how the rabbi gives himself a little more time to get this candle lit. And now say hello to a third neighbor, please. And again, welcome everyone. We're also now going to turn to page 6 in our Siddur, and we're going to read at the top of the page together in the English. Page 6. We enter this sanctuary to welcome Shabbat. Within these walls, we sit surrounded by numberless generations. Our ancestors built the synagogue as a visible sign of God's presence in their midst. Throughout our long history and our endless wanderings, it has endured, a beacon of truth, love, and justice for all humanity. Its presence guided our ancestors to lives of righteousness, holding up to them a vision of their truest selves. Now we, in our turn, come into this sanctuary to affirm the sacredness of our lives. May we enter this place in peace. May holiness wrap around us as we cross its threshold. Weariness, doubt, the flaws within our human hearts, the harshness of the weak, let these drop away at the door. In the brightness of Shabbat, let peace settle upon as we lift our hearts in prayer. And now I have the honor of calling up B'nai, who's going to light our candles and lead us in the candle blessing. We are on page 2.
So may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kadishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Thank you. We continue on page 20 with the singing of L'chado D. L'chado D is actually an acrostic. The first 8 verses are arranged according to the author's name, Shlomo Halevi Alchabetz, from the 16th century. And we are going to rise at the very end on page 21 at the bottom to welcome the Sabbath bride as we face the front of our sanctuary. But I'll give you the cue, as is our custom. L'chado D, page 20. Please join us.
L'chado di likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. 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 Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, ishmianu el hamiuchad. Adonai echad u'shemo echad, l'shemo tiferet v'litila. L'chado di likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. L'chado di likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki hi mekor ha'beracha. Merosh mekedem nesucha, sof ma'aseh b'maksheva techila. L'chado di likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. L'chado di likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat
Rise at Babel and turn to the front of our sanctuary. Bottom of 21.
Boi v'shalom ateret bala, gam b'simcha u'v'tzola. Toch emunei am segula, boi chala.
Please join us.
L'chado di likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. L'chado di likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela.
You may be seated. We continue in the middle of page 23, a beautiful stanza about the grandeur of God. Adonai is sovereign, God is robed in grandeur. Adonai is robed, God is girded with strength. The world stands firm, it cannot be shaken. Your throne stands firm from old. From eternity you have existed. The ocean sounds, Adonai. The ocean sounds its thunder. The ocean sounds its pounding. Above the thunder of the mighty waters, more majestic than the breakers of the sea, is Adonai, majestic on high. Your decrees are indeed enduring. Holiness befits your house, Adonai, for all time. Friends, we join on the top of page 24 together the singing of Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seitchem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei
Page 27, the very, very bottom of the page, page 27. Entrances to holiness are everywhere. The possibility of ascent is all the time. Even at unlikely times and through unlikely places, there is no place on earth without the presence. Friends, on page 28, we will open the ark for the call to worship. If you are able, please rise. Page 28 for Baruch Hu.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach, Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
You may be seated. We continue on page 31, middle of the page in the English, page 31. This is an hour of change. Within it we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai, Amariv Aravim. We continue on the top of page 32 with Angela and Dwight, the singing Ahavat Olam.
Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha ahavta, Amcha ahavta. Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadeta, Otanu limadeta. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu b'shochbeinu, נשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד, כי הם חיינו ועורק ימינו, ובהם נגע יומם ולילה, נגע יומם ולילה. ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל. אוהב עמו ישראל.
On page 34, we rise if able for the Shema. Page 34.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
You may be seated. Friends, we continue at the top of page 36 together with the chanting of the V'ahavta. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'elech asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha uv'lektecha v'derech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha uv'kshatam liot hayadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha uktavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha leman tizkeru ve'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'item gedoshim le'elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzet etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem le'elohim ani Adonai Elohechem. And on page 37, a beautiful, beautiful translation of the Haftarah. Let's read together. Love your God with every heartbeat, with every breath, with every conscious act. Keep in mind the words I command you today. Teach them to your children. Talk about them at work. Whether you are tired or you are rested, let them guide the work of your hands. Let them in the front of your vision. Do not leave them at the doorway of your house or outside your gate. They are reminders to do all my mitzvot so that you can be holy for God. I am Adonai your God. I led you out of Egypt to become your God. I am Adonai your God. Page 39. Top of the page we'll read responsively. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot. Together, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. And let's sing a song on page 40 of Exodus, of freedom, Micha Mocha, together, page 40.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש. נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה. מלכותך ראו בניך בוקע הים לפני משה ומרים. זה אלי ענו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד.
Friends, in Judaism, there's nothing more powerful than voices singing a melody together. So on the top of page 43, we're going to try Let There Be Love. I'll sing it the first time, then Angela will join in, and then hopefully every voice in our congregation will join in. Top of page 43. Very simple. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Now you please join us. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. And let's read the Hebrew right below. Baruch atah Adonai, hapurei suchat shalom, aleinu v'al kol amo Yisrael, v'al Yerushalayim. Beautiful. We turn to page 44, when we're going to sing Yismachu, middle to the bottom of the page. We want everyone singing with us, everyone being joyful in song. Yismachu, page 44.
ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי 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 שבת, וקוראי עונג שבת. ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי 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 שבת, וקוראי עונג שבת. מקדש שמי שבת, כולם ישמעו ויתענגו מטובך שבת.
Everyone.
ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי 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 שבת, וקוראי עונג שבת. ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי 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 שבת, וקוראי עונג שבת. והשביעי רצית בו וקידשת שבת, חמדת ימים אותו קראת שבת.
Everyone.
ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי 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 שבת, וקוראי עונג שבת. ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי 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 שבת, וקוראי עונג שבת. זכר למעשה בראשית שבת, זכר למעשה
asked you to sing, 20 of you sang. That's a really good percentage. I'm very happy with that. Page 45, top of the page, together. We are a people in whom the past endures, in whom the present is inconceivable without moments gone by. The Exodus lasted a moment enduring forever. What happened once upon a time happens all the time. And on page 46, if you are able, please rise as the ark is opened as we sing our tefillah, page 46. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufia ki tehilateka. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Page 48. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, El Hagadol, Hagibor Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot V'imahot, U'nevi Gula V'nechem, Leman Shemo B'Yava, Melech Lozer U'Moshiach U'Magin, Baruch atah Adonai, Magin Avraham, B'tzrat Sarah. Page 50. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, V'chayei HaKol atah Rav Yoshia, Mashiva Ruach U'Morida B'Hashem, Mechalchel Chaim B'Chesed, Mechayei HaKol B'Rachamim Rabim. So Mechnofim Verofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayei Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Michamocha B'Gevurot, Umidom Melach, Melech Mimid, Umekayei, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman nata lecha Yodachon, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayei HaKol. Top of 52. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'kol yom yalucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. You may be seated. We continue on page 55, middle of the page, responsively. Disturb us, Adonai, ruffle us from our complacency, make us dissatisfied with the peace of ignorance, the quietude which arises from a shunning of the horror, the defeat, the bitterness, and the poverty, physical and spiritual, of humans. Wake us, O God, and shake us from the sweet and sad poignancies rendered by half-forgotten melodies and rubric prayers of yesteryears. Disturb us, O God, and vex us. Let not your Shabbat be a day of torpor and slumber. Let it be a time to be stirred and spurred to action together. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. We turn to page 57. The very top of the page, I'll chant the Hebrew and then we'll read the English right beneath. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu b'amcha Yisrael, ufilatam b'ahava titkabel, Util ratzon tamid avodat Yisrael amecha. Baruch atah Adonai, she'odka levadka b'yira navod. Together. Ever-present one, may we, your people Israel, be worthy in our deeds and our prayer, wherever we live, wherever we seek you, in this land, in Zion restored, in all lands. You are our God, whom alone we serve in reverence. Baruch atah Adonai, she'odka levadka b'yira na'avod. And on page 61, a blessing of peace at the top of the page. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. Make contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among all the inhabitants of every land. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praised are you, eternal one, who blesses our people with peace. Together, Baruch atah Adonai, Hamarech et Amo, Yisrael, Shalom. Friends, we'll take a few moments of silent prayer and then join back together on page 140 for a song of peace. Sim Shalom.
Tova Uvracha. Sim Shalom. Tova Uvracha.
Sim Shalom.
Sim Shalom.
Tova
Tova
Uvracha. Sim Shalom. Tova Uvracha. Chen v'chesed, chen v'chesed v'rachamim. Chen v'chesed, chen v'chesed v'rachamim. V'rachamim. Sim Shalom.
Sim Shalom.
Tova
Tova
Uvracha. Sim Shalom. Tova Uvracha. Friends, we move from prayer of peace, beautiful song of peace, to the Mishaberach on page 253. And before we go around our sanctuary tonight, asking for names of those in need of healing, there is one name I do want to read, Eliezer HaKohen Ben Mimi. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal those who are ill. And we're going to go around our sanctuary. Please say those names out loud. Okay. Did we miss anyone in the middle? How about back there? And for our friends joining us online, we're going to give you a moment to say the names out loud. We're going to join together with the singing of Misha Berach in hopes of a swift and a complete healing. Page 253, let's join with Angela.
The ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misha Berach Imotenu Makor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say
May the Blessed Holy One be filled with compassion for their health to be restored and swiftly their strength be revived. God, may you swiftly send them a complete renewal of body and spirit, and let us say, Amen. Angela and Dwight, thank you for your beautiful music. A religious man once sat in temple waiting for the Shabbat service to begin. It was getting on 1 or 2 minutes past the time, and we know we need to be prompt. The rabbi had not yet arrived, and the people were getting anxious. Finally, the man became very impatient, ran over to the window, and looked very carefully. He noticed something very strange. The rabbi was walking to temple very slowly, unhurried, even though the congregation was waiting. The rabbi's steps were calm and deliberate. The rabbi finally arrived, and they held the service. And after the prayers, the man asked the rabbi, "Rabbi, why did you not hurry to shul? Why were you taking your time? You were late. The people were waiting." The rabbi answered, "My friend, all week I hurry for things that do not wait for me. On Shabbat, I do not hurry even for holy things, because holiness is not reached by rushing." And the rabbi then asked the man, "Tell me, my friend, when does Shabbat begin?" The man thought it was a trick question. "Well, it's sunset on Friday, of course." The rabbi said, "No. Shabbat begins when you stop running. During the week, time rules over you. That is a type of bondage. On Shabbat, you rule over time. You are free. But if you hurry into Shabbat as you do during the week, then even Shabbat cannot free you." From that Shabbat on, the man who was impatient learned that the deepest rest of Shabbat was not in sleep, not in food, but the knowledge that nothing essential can be lost by stopping for a moment. This week's Parsha is called Bo, which means come, go, or enter, and it's found in Exodus chapter 10. The portion describes the final devastating plagues. This is a very tough thing to talk about in Judaism. It's a tough thing to study. We got into it a bit at Torah study last week, and it's difficult. It is. The locust, the darkness, the death of the firstborn. the institution of the Passover sacrifice, the Israelites' hurried departure from Egypt, and the command to commemorate these events is the foundation of our Jewish law and identity. It's a pivotal section in a pivotal Torah portion. It details the culmination of the Exodus story, marking the transition of the Israelites from slaves to a free nation. But in addition to everything that's going on, if you really read the text, there's a line which I believe is of paramount importance. HaChodesh hazeh lechem rosh chodashim. What does it mean? This month shall be for you the first of the months. With these words, God gives the Jewish people their very first mitzvah. Before the sea splits, before the Torah is given, before Charlton Heston's hair turns totally white, the land, the kings, the temples, before all of that, the first commandment given to a people on the brink of freedom is not about belief, morality, or ritual objects. It's about keeping time. This is deeply surprising. The Israelites are still slaves, we have to remember. Pharaoh still rules Egypt. The plagues are not yet complete, and yet God pauses history and says, now is the time to teach you how to count time. Why here? Why now? And why does Jewish freedom begin not with territory or political independence, but with the ability to declare a new month? The answer is this. Slavery is not only about where you live or who rules you. True slavery is about who owns your time. Think about that. In Egypt, the Israelites had no control over their days or nights. They didn't wake up, or they didn't go to sleep when they choose. They did not rest when they needed to. Their time belonged entirely to Pharaoh. As Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel famously taught, the greatest tyranny is not our bodies, but over time. Somebody who is subjugated may breathe, think, even dream, but none of that time truly belongs to them. So before God takes the people out of Egypt, God must take Egypt out of their relationship with time. HaChodesh hazeh lechem, this month belongs to you. This is not merely a technical instruction for a calendar. It is a radical declaration of freedom. God is saying you're no longer a people whose lives are measured by quotas of bricks. You are now a people who will measure life by sacred moments, by months, by holidays, by wonderful things when you're family, and by sorrow, the rhythms infused with meaning. And now we must ask ourselves, what about us? What about today? We are no longer under Pharaoh, at least most of us aren't. But the question of who controls our time is more relevant than ever. We all know that. We live in an age of unprecedented freedom, and yet many of us feel constantly rushed behind, overwhelmed, attached to that small little box you carry in your pocket, that little rectangle that has all the answers and has everything. We say, I don't have time, as if time were a resource owned by someone else and rationed out to us. So who controls our time? Who controls our time? For many, it's work. Emails that arrive late at night, expectations of constant availability, productivity measured not by depth or meaning, but by speed and output. Even when we are not working, we're often thinking about work. I know I am, but that's a labor of love. For others, it's technology. Phones that buzz and vibrate and glow at all hours, pulling our attention every few seconds. Algorithms designed to keep us scrolling, clicking, consuming, buying the things they think we want. If I search for a couch, I'm going to hear about a couch for the next month. We may feel free, but our time is being monetized. It's being measured. It's being sold. For still others, it's expectations of family, of community, of ourselves. The pressure to be everywhere, all at once, do everything, to never disappoint. We fill our calendars not because every moment is sacred, but because emptiness in today's day and age makes us feel uncomfortable. But when we light Shabbat candles, we're doing what our ancestors did in Egypt. We reclaim our time from our masters. We are saying for the next 25 hours, my worth will not be measured by productivity. My phone will not decide what matters to me. The time is lachem, for us. So friends, in conclusion, every Rosh Chodesh, every Shabbat, every time we gather today as a congregation in our beautiful sanctuary, is a quiet echo of that first mitzvah in Egypt. A reminder that freedom is fragile and must be renewed again and again, not with grand gestures, but with the simple, courageous act of saying, this moment matters. And may we have the wisdom to realize it. Shabbat Shalom. And now, do we do a drum roll here? Calling up Sherry with our announcements. I'll bring a drum next time.
Shabbat Shalom to everyone. In case you do not know already, the congregational dinner will not be held this Sunday. It has been transferred to Tuesday the 27th. Due to weather, and also, in case you're wondering, I'm kicking Rabbi John out of town tonight. So there will be no Torah study tomorrow. I think it's better he get home to his family. Next weekend, things will be back to normal. I want each one of you to please stay home. The roads may be icy, they may not be icy. It's not worth taking the chance. If you have an emergency that you need to go to the hospital, call an ambulance, call the fire department, call the police. They will come and drive you if you can't get there on your own. It's not safe. I know it's going to be boring, but just remember these words of Confucius. Counting flowers on the wall, that don't bother me at all. Playing solitaire till dawn with a deck of 21, smoking cigarettes and watching Captain Kangaroo. Now don't tell me I've nothing to do. You can always find something to do to keep from being bored. Shabbat Shalom to each of you, and I hope to see all of you next week.
Thank you, Sherry. Now, those of you who know that from Pulp Fiction, put that totally out of your mind, because that is one. I do want to say, Sherry, thank you so much for your caring and saying, Rabbi, go home tonight. Although this does mean I have to help my wife put foam on the spigots in the morning. I was planning on being at the hotel and just coming to tourist night, but that's okay, that's fine. I'll help out. But I want to thank you, and thank you all for tonight. There's something in the air tonight. Maybe it's because the cool air is coming in soon. Everyone is singing so beautifully, and from my vantage point, hearing your voices, and you always sing wonderfully, but tonight there's something going on out here. So please keep it up. Please keep it. It's James. So we are going to continue with the prayer for the state of Israel on page 59. And just to let you know, before we do rise, if able, after the Aleinu, I'm just going to tell you a little bit, very short, little bit about Israel's International Holocaust Remembrance Day. Very short, but we'll remain standing for that as well, so we can have a moment of silence. So if everyone could please rise as we open the ark. We are on page 259.
Avinu, Avinu, Shebashamayim, Tzur Yisrael v'goalo. Avinu, Avinu, Shebashamayim, Tzur Yisrael v'goalo.
Bottom of page 259 in the English together. O Heavenly One, Protector and Redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love. Spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. Amen. We turn to page 282, middle of the page for the Aleinu. Let's join together. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon ha'kol, l'teit gedula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu ki goyei haratzot, velo samadu ki mishpechot ha'adama. V'gor alinu kefol hamonam, v'anaknu korim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, lifnei melech, malchei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu. Page 287, middle of the page.
ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
Friends will remain standing, if able. On January 27th, as I had mentioned, we'll join the world in observing International Holocaust Remembrance Day. We'll pause to remember the 6 million Jews and the millions of others whose lives were stolen by hatred, indifference, and evil. We honor the survivors who carried memory forward, often at a great personal cost, and we mourn communities and worlds that were destroyed. In his book, Man's Search for Meaning, Viktor Frankl wrote, "Even in suffering, even in the darkness of the camps, the spirit of a person remains their own. And in remembering, we reclaim that spirit for those who were lost." Our remembrance is not only about the past, it's a sacred obligation in the present, to bear witness, to teach truth, and to stand against anti-Semitism and all forms of dehumanization wherever they appear. Friends, may our remembering deepen our compassion, strengthen our courage, and guide us to choose life, dignity, and justice. And I'd like to ask everyone to pause for a moment of silence, remembering the mantra that should be etched on each one of our hearts: never again. Our thoughts now turn on page 294 to those who have departed this earth, our friends, our loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people, whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. And before our Shloshim and Yahrzeit lists, I do want to send condolences, prayers, and love to Dan and Kara Eisen on the passing of their beloved cousin, Helene Gonzalez. Tonight we observe the period of Shloshim for Douglas Bender, and we mark the Yahrzeits of Florence Sadoff Commerce, Max K. Mayer Jr., Nathan Waldman, Jacob S. Friedman, Lillian Pearl Margulies, Maxine Blankfield, Ben M. Goldstein, Arthur Moskowitz, Clara Miller-Chinsky, Florence Eisen Rosenthal, Doris Starr Greenberg, Faye Levine, Frank Greenberg, Jerome I. Eunuch, Harry Starr, Phyllis Kossover, Elise Shields, Cheney Lee Holland, David Herbert Manson, Harry Benson, William Bruckner, Jacob Krasno, Joseph Selinsky, Anna Fishbein, Jeanette Sophia Klein, Jerome M. Nage Sr., Weston J. Harrington, Lala Lazarus Fagelson, Irvi Levine Phillipson, Morris Lehman, Max H. Eunuch, Louis Safir, Julius Myers Levy, Bernard Wyde, and Carrie Meyer. And we'll go around our sanctuary. If there's anyone else's name we are remembering tonight, please say it out loud. Anybody in the front? Charlie? Anybody else in the middle? You? Miss anybody? And our friends online, please say the name out loud right now. And together in solidarity, the treasured words of the Mourner's Kaddish are on page 94. Let's join together. 294. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, V'alma divra chirute v'amlich malchute. V'chayechon uvyamechon uv'chaye dechol beit Yisrael. V'agalav v'zman kari v'imru amen. Yehe shmei rabam avarach le'olam omei omaya. Yiparak v'yishtabak v'yipar v'yitraman v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal. Shemei kodesha brechu. Leila min kol berchata v'shirata. Tushbachata v'nechamata. Damiran b'yama v'imru amen. Yehe shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav. Hu yaseh shalom. Aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and all of Israel, to which we say, amen. Friends, we're going to conclude on page 349 with the singing of Eli, Eli, the beautiful, beautiful song written by young Hannah Senish, who was killed in the camps. But this song remains, and we would like you to sing it with us. Page 349, Eli, Eli. In the English. Oh God, I pray that these things never end. The sand and the sea, the rush of the waters, the crash of the the prayer of the heart, the sand and the sea, the rush of the waters, the crash of the heavens, the prayer of the Shabbat Shalom, everyone. We'll actually be meeting in the front of the sanctuary. That way, we are at our table with our challah and our wine. So we'll see you back there. Shabbat Shalom.